me again. Today we are going to be doing a thrift find. Now, if you don't know what it is,
What's a thrift find?
What is it? What are you talking about?
What is this?
it's when I take something from it's when I take something I found at a thrift store, or someone gave it to me, or it just needs a makeover, and it's something you find at a thrift store. Thrift Finds. This idea was originally based off of Mariah Elizabeth's thrift store makeovers, so inspiration. Let me grab it. Where did I put it? Oh, it's all over here. Ugh. My item is this. Now there's a story behind this. My friend actually gave this to me and was like, here, can you do a thrift store makeover type thing to this? Because I found it at I found it as thrift store, and she's like, so, and I don't even remember what she said. But she gave this to me and was like, here, can you do this? And I was like, sure. Originally, when she gave it to me, it did not look like this. I tried to paint this a while ago, a long time ago, like a year ago, and it didn't turn out what I wanted it to. I was gonna get rid of this, but then I didn't. And here we are now going to thrift store find makeover this thing. Let's get to it. Alright. Time to choose the background color. Pink? No, I don't want to do pink. Blue? Maybe? Green? No, no. Orange? No, let's do blue. Alrighty then, now that we've chose our marvelous background, time to bring in the block of wood. Now, it's a house. There's nothing much to say about this block of wood in the shape of a house. It's poorly painted by myself, and it's just not appealing. So let's go. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna bring out some sandpaper to smooth out the surface of the house, because the paint was really chunky and bumpy, and the house was not very smooth. So I went ahead and took some sandpaper and sanded it down. I then grabbed some white paint and began painting a white base coat, but this paint that I used was really transparent for some reason. This is what I get for buying literal dollar store paint. So I grabbed my other white paint and worked so much better, so I painted the entire house with a white base coat, and I've made too many p sounds. Moving on from that, with my crisp, clean white house, I then mixed my pink paint and began to paint the house pink. My gosh, I'm using the p sound a lot for some reason. My idea for this was to have it pink with this weird, cool mandala thing coming from the bottom of the house. But I ended up deciding that I want to make it into a sandwich. So that is exactly what I did. I began to paint the house a nice chocolatey brown color. Oop, you spoiled it. But after a few coats, I got the nice, even color that I wanted. Now grabbing my 3 paint containers. As I was saying, I got my 3 paint containers, filled them with paint, and I think you know what I'm doing. I ain't doing no ordinary sandwich. I'm doing an ice cream sandwich. A Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, to be exact. Man, that was a solid kt. Why am I talking about the kt? I'm going to stop talking about the kt. Wow, I'm getting real sidetracked today. And after about 5 coats, this is how we're looking like. And then I moved on to the vanilla layer of the Neapolitan ice cream sandwich house. That's a mouthful. And this was probably the most boring part. Not because it was vanilla, but it was just had nothing interesting about its placement, like at all. And then I finally got an overhead thingamabob, so now I can do overhead shots, and it's a lot easier to make videos. Now I'm gonna move on to the strawberry part of the Neapolitan ice cream sandwich. I need an abbreviation for that. NISH, Neapolitan Ice Cream Sandwich House. Alrighty then, now that we have an abbreviation, I don't even remember what I was talking about before, but I have all of the Neapolitan layers inside, so now I'm just gonna do some touch-ups in between each color to make it nice, flat, and seamless. Did that even make sense? I don't know. My original idea for this house was to do a regular sandwich like you eat for lunch, but my mom suggested, why don't you make it into an ice cream sandwich? But since vanilla ice cream is kind of plain, I thought of a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, which would make it a little more interesting instead of the plain old vanilla. After I painted in the layers, I began touching up the edges of the ice cream sandwich to make them nice and straight and clean and crisp. There was a lot of touch-ups going on this niche because I had to get in the stripes of color, and then I had to touch up the edges of the chocolate sandwich part, and then I had to touch up the inside of the layers again, and it was just back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Just a heads up to you all, if I do not post on Fridays, it is because I have not had enough time to edit a video, because for me, school has started, and I may or may not have enough time to work on a video, but I will for sure post on Mondays, so you can always look forward to my videos on Mondays. But if I don't post on a Friday, that is why. So
Yes, blame it all on school.
I then began to add drips in between each of the colors to add a little something to it, and it's like the ice cream is melting and it's dripping down into each other color. Each other color. Each other color.
Each other color, 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 each other color,
I'm gonna stop now. Moving on to my favorite part of painting this house, which was outlining the edges of the front and back of the house with this dark brown, the same color as the chocolate of the Neapolitan. I don't know where I was going with this. Outlining the edges of the house added a lot to the house itself. Why did I say house twice? Now that just sounds weird. Anyways, it took me about 5 or 6 coats to get the nice clean look that I wanted, and after that, this is what we're looking like. I then touched up the edges of the ice cream sandwich to get a nice clean look, so the outline is only on the front and back side of the house. Now flipping over to the back side of the house, we are gonna do a cool transition. Wow, we so cool. Now that the front and back side is all done, we are going to sketch out the house itself. And so I began painting in all of the details with my paint.
Obviously.
I wanted to apply all of the Neapolitan colors on the front of the house to tie everything together. So therefore I made the door and the fence posts on the side the same brown as the chocolate part of the Neapolitan. I then added some dots on the house to represent the holes in the ice cream sandwiches in real life, to tie in the ice cream sandwichness, and there we go. Moving on to the windows, I used the vanilla color, which was made using a lot of white and a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit of yellow. I didn't want the vanilla to be pure white. What is that in the screen? I don't know. Anywho, I I didn't want to make the vanilla pure white because a lot of the time vanilla ice cream isn't pure white. Continuing fourth word. I question everything I say because it doesn't make sense. All right. New goal, stay focused. Anywho, I outlined the windows and the door with the strawberry pink from the Neapolitan, and that was the last color that I needed to tie in for the house. After finishing up with the strawberryness, I then grabbed my new metallic gold Posca pen and began to outline all of the windows and the door. I was originally going to paint in all of the outlines, but I didn't know what color I was going to do that in, and it would be a lot more difficult to do with a paintbrush, so I just used my Posca pen, which worked out perfectly. Finishing up outlining the door frame, I added a weird little line, the doorknob, and outlined all of the brick patterns, and I forgot to tell you, I ditched the dots. And then I added a nice gloss finish over the top of it to help protect it and make it all shiny and pretty and nice looking. And this is how it turned out. I really like it, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!